cutting the cord with your twin flame, and I'm going to make it really easy for you. How to actually cut the cord with your twin flame and why you would want to do that. Well, everybody kind of knows you got to detach from your twin flame to get them to start talking to you again, right? Stop rejecting you, stop running away from you, stop ghosting you. Maybe they got you blocked, whatever it is. And it works like magic, and it's not really magic. It's technology. I'm even going to explain to you why this works. Magic is just science undiscovered, right? There is a reason that this works. This is real twin flames. It is a real phenomenon. Watch this. So we already know about reincarnation and how it works. This is a diagram that I came up with, I don't know, 4 years ago. And it just kind of made sense to me. And technically, the diagram that I came up with was this one, right, to explain twin flames. And I came up with this just thinking about basically physics. Real science, right? So if the soul can incarnate and reincarnate, don't you think there should be an explanation for it? It's not just magic. In this day and age, we know that there's no magic, although some of the things that science has figured out seem absolutely magical, right? And, this is just basically the oversoul in heaven, the energy part of the universe, the vacuum of space, right? The Higgs field, dark energy, those are kind of different things, but basically that field, right? Greg Braden calls it the divine matrix, right? It's the mental universe, the metaphysical universe. You could call it the mind of God. And it's what we have always called heaven, or the afterlife, which is really the before life, or the eternal life, right? So that's where the oversoul, or your higher self, exists. Okay, and then you've got all of your individual incarnations of your soul. And it just kind of made sense to me. I just kind of wrote this down one day. And again, the one that I really wrote down was the one where it's you and your twin flame, right? So same thing, it's just, here's you and your twin flame. And here's your past life, another past life, there's a future reincarnation. And the oversoul in heaven. And then, it was like 6 months later, I saw somebody else using a diagram just exactly the same, right? Same as this other one here. And I was like, hey, that's my diagram, right on. And it's just kind of an obvious thing, when you start to think about it. And then, it's like, here's an example that I always use. I figured out that the sun rises in the east. I just noticed that the sun rises in the east. And I found somebody else who also noticed that the sun rises in the east. Well, how about that? And that's what this is, guys. It's just knowledge. It's out there. You can figure it out for yourself, right? And again, I came up with this on my own using physics, basically. Okay. Also, I found out that this explanation of reincarnation is something that's been around for a while, guys. Long, long time. So we know exactly what twin flames are. We know exactly what it is. It's simultaneous incarnations of the same soul. I use this diagram so much, I'm even getting little dog ears down here. Well, anyway, what does this have to do with cutting the cord with your twin flame? It's got everything to do with it. So cutting the cord with your twin flame is a lot different than cutting the cord with anybody else. Because here's the thing with you and your twin flame. There is no with you and your twin flame. There's only you. This is the thing. Guys, if you If you somehow knew who you were, your past life in the year 1870, and you had a time machine, and you went back in time and you saw them across the street and you were like, hey, there they are. That's exactly what's going on here with you and your twin flame. Or what if you had two incarnations of your soul in 1870? Because I've had some people go, well, yeah, I did have a past life with my twin flame. I know that it was me and my twin flame. And I've had visions and I had a psychic tell me this and all this kind of stuff. And I'm over here going, how? Because the thing is, if you go into a time machine and go back there to see both of them together, they're both you. I mean, maybe you saw yourself and this other person from the perspective of this person here, and you saw this other person over here who is also you. Maybe that's what's going on, but that's what's going on. They're both you. They're both you guys. Now, once you're armed with this knowledge, you can cut the cord with your twin flame, and it's not actually cord cutting. Because here's the thing, you are them. Can you cut the cord with yourself? Very interesting. Now, what's really going on is you're transcending the duality of mind. There's no actual cord cutting. That's why this works so effectively. I'm the world's #1 twin flame coach. 6,000 paying coaching students to date. Never mind my YouTube and social media presence. And I'm not saying that to brag. It's just, guys, I must be doing something right. You know, that's a lot of people. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And it's easy to see why I've been able to do it. Guys, it's just logical. Your twin flame is you. Everybody knows that. There's a lot of information on the internet about twin flames. A lot of differing information. They're going to have you do all kinds of cord cuttings and healing and past life clearings with your twin flame and whatever. And you don't need to do any of that stuff. You already are them. And I keep telling people that, and it keeps working. Right. Now, the one thing that everybody agrees on when it comes to twin flames, in spite of everything else that I just mentioned, is that it's one soul in two bodies, and that is absolutely true. You are simultaneous incarnations of the same soul. So there's no actual cord cutting. And actually, if you do try to do something like that with your twin flame, they run harder. Go watch my twin flame coaching videos. Free. I've got a whole bunch of free ones. You don't even have to give me any money. I even have a greatest hits playlist on this channel. It's called The True Twin Flame Teachings. Go check it out in my playlists section. And you'll find out very, very quickly exactly what it is that makes your twin flame run. It's called separation consciousness. And that's an ancient Zen spiritual term. That's a non-dual teaching. That's right out of the Tao, basically, right? Rupert Spira, Eckhart Tolle, Buddha, Ram Dass, Michael Singer, Yogananda, right? Real spiritualism, which is consciousness, non-duality. That's the soul. The mind is duality. So that's why there's the push and pull between you and your twin flame, because you're focusing on them. I got to cut the cord. I got to do something. No, no, no. You transcend the duality system of the mind. You transcend the separation consciousness of the mind. That's not a twin flame term. Twin flames just took it. And I can only imagine that originally, like before the internet, 1970s, 80s, whatever, that the term separation and union and even detaching, right? Cord cutting, detaching, that's kind of the idea behind cord cutting. People were using it correctly back then too. They understood that it's just spiritual terminology. Your twin flame is your spirit. They are your soul. Unity consciousness, that's where you transcend the separation consciousness of the ego mind. And remember who you are, which is consciousness, pure consciousness. And they call that unity consciousness. Union, unity consciousness. Oh, now you know where those words came from. That's how you cut the cord. There's really no cord cutting because you can't. Your twin flame is you. You can't cut the cord with yourself, the real, actual self, the soul, not the personality, the identity, the thinker, not that. Remember, body, mind, soul, back to basics, right? Body, mind, soul. The mind, ego, personality, thoughts, emotions, chakras, etc., etc. Now, how do I do that, Kurt? How do I transcend the mind? Remember who you are. You are consciousness. You are the observer, and it just happens naturally and organically. You leave behind identification as the separate self, deriving your very sense of self from the thinker, the mind, right? You are the consciousness. You are that which watches the mind, notices the mind. You are the noticer of thought and emotions. And we're not saying that thought and emotion are bad. That's just not who you really are. You are the soul. You are your twin flame. It's energetic. The mind is what says there's me and there's my twin flame, and I don't understand how I could be them. Right. That's not you who does not understand. And that's not even you who is saying that. You do not ask the question. The mind does. And the mind is only able to see me and other. But there is no other. The mind is separation consciousness. Me, other. That makes a we. And we are separate. What are they doing? What are they being? What are they thinking? What do they want? I have to cut the cord with them. I have to detach from them. We, they. That's all the mind. And again, I'm not saying the mind is defective because it's doing that. That's what it's for. But it cannot help you with this. Now, let me give you some resources to do this. You can start by reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I have all of my students do it. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. An Eckhart Tolle video a day keeps the obsessive thinking away. Remember the obsessive thinking? During that dark night of the soul? So read his book, watch his videos. There's also the Samadhi movie. It's on YouTube. It's free. You can start watching it right now. It's only an hour long. Samadhi, S-A-M-A-D-H-I, Samadhi. Go check it out. Make sure that you watch part 1 first. Don't skip around, or else it might not make sense to you. Part 1, The Illusion of Maya, Samadhi. Go check it out. By the time you're done watching that film, you're going to know exactly what this is all about and exactly what to do. There's also, again, my True Twin Flame Teachings playlist. You can also go to the channels section of this YouTube channel and check out those people, other spiritual teachers that I recommend. You want to get your twin flame back? You want to shut down the running and the chasing? Go check those guys out. That's how you get your twin flame back, guys. You got to do soul stuff, not mind stuff, not healing, not detaching. I mean, detaching is something that happens organically. It just happens. There is detaching, but it's not something that you do. And I'm not saying healing is bad, but that's not what this is. Healing is a natural byproduct of this remembrance that you are up to. Remember, you are consciousness. Thank you for watching.